Hi, 7th grade. Today we're working on BB3 for our grammar lesson, which has to do with pronouns and antecedents, but this time talking about how sometimes pronouns can be vague, and vague is a fancy word for like unclear. So I know at the very beginning of the year we worked on this, but it might have just been a day, so this might feel like a review, but it's pretty likely that this will be some new information, so stay tuned. I'm going to show you with a few examples before I start. If I were teaching this at school, I would have my 2 highlighters. My class is really familiar with that, and I'm sure if you're in the other literacy class that happens as well too, but I'm just going to highlight using one color for a pronoun and one color for an antecedent over here on my Word document. So for example, in these sentences, take a look. It says, students at Kipindi are working hard to grow their brains. You remember from yesterday that a pronoun are words like me, I, we, us, they, their, him, her, she, etc. So the pronoun that I see in this sentence is their. I'm going to use yellow to mark the pronoun of their. And then I need to figure out, okay, so there actually takes place of students. It takes the place of students. And so my antecedent, the word that comes before the pronoun that shows what the pronoun represents, is students. I'm going to mark in green. In this next example, it's going to be unclear what the antecedent actually is for the pronoun that's given. So let's take a look. Alice takes yoga classes at Emma's studio, comma, so this yoga mat might be hers, comma, fanboys. My class might remember that. Okay, side note, here we go. Or Alice takes yoga classes at Emma's studio, so this yoga mat might be Alice's. One of those sentences has an unclear pronoun. Let's just go through and label all of our pronouns first. So I see hers, I'm going to label in yellow. Alice, Emma. Those aren't pronouns, but those are antecedents. Those are nouns that pronoun represents. So I'm going to label those as green. In this sentence, do I know whose yoga mat it is? Is it Alice or Emma's? Let's look at the second sentence. Alice takes yoga classes at Emma's studio, so this yoga mat might be Alice's. I don't see any pronouns in this one, but I do see some nouns that would be antecedents if there was pronoun. So one of these sentences has a vague antecedent. Which one has a vague antecedent? I lied. Which one has a vague pronoun? Well, this one's the only one that has the pronoun, so it has to be this one. If I was on IXL, I would choose this one as the sentence with the vague pronoun. Boom shakalaka. Alright, let's try one more here, then we'll try a few together on IXL. So the first step that I did was I'm going to label my pronouns. And if you're like, I don't remember what the pronouns are, remember you can just go to Google and you can just type in list of pronouns and then I'll have the list for you, just like you did on the skill yesterday. Then, after you do that, I would label your antecedents. On IXL, you can't do highlighting, but you can do it in your head, or if you're working on paper, you could like write out a column of pronouns on one side, antecedents on the other side, if you wanted to do that like labeling process. I know that works really well for me, and I know it works really well for a lot of you all. Okay, so let's look at this sentence. Moray eels look like snakes, but they belong to a different class of the animal kingdom. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to find the pronoun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Found it. Should have found they as the pronoun, so I'm labeling that yellow. Now, the antecedents that come before they, so the nouns that come before they are eels and snakes. And I'm already thinking, is it eels or snakes that they is referring to? I can't really tell, so I think that one's going to be the right answer. Oh my gosh, I'm going crazy. I did not spell this right up here. My bad. Okay. So let's just double check with the second sentence to make sure this one doesn't have any vague pronouns. Moray eels look like snakes, but snakes belong to a different class of the animal kingdom. Okay. They never used a pronoun here. They told me that snakes are the ones that belong to the animal kingdom, and so it's clear which antecedent they was referring to. Let's just do a quick review. Vague pronoun. First thing I do, find the pronouns. Second thing I do, find the antecedents. Third thing I do, ask myself, is it clear what the pronoun is referring to or like replacing? Okay? Those are the steps. Let's try it in our example on IXL. Here we go. Again, this is BB3. Identify vague pronoun references. You could find it through this code 26T. Alrighty. Which of the following contains a vague pronoun reference? Okay, which one of these has a pronoun that is unclear what it's referring to? It says that the jaws of Tyrannosaurus rex were up to 4 feet long. In that sentence, I see it as a pronoun, but I don't think there's any antecedents in that. Because there's nothing before it, so I think that was okay. This placard says that the jaws of Tyrannosaurus rex were up to 4 feet long. So I thought that first one was okay, but I think the second one is actually more clear because it says the placard. That's like one of those little like, I don't know, have you ever seen like outside the classroom it says like whose room it is? A placard is like a thing that says like information. So I guess that's clear. So it is unclear. This is a terrible example though, so I'd like to do this one in another. Hopefully I got that right. Ooh, okay. This is a better example. Okay, look at the first sentence. Ben accidentally bumped into the waiter and food splattered all over his shirt. The pronoun that I see is his, but the antecedents that I see before it are waiter and Ben. Whose shirt did the food splatter over? Was it the waiter or Ben? That seems unclear, but let's double check ourselves on the second one. Ben accidentally bumped into the waiter and food splattered all over Ben's shirt. There it is. Ben's shirt. They put Ben's name in instead of his. So I know this is clear. Ben's shirt is where the food was splattered over. So the one that has a vague pronoun reference, the one that's unclear, is the first one. Good luck! Oops.